Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my day at Yallwest. Yallwest is a book convention that was held in Santa Monica, and where basically you get to meet a lot of authors, booktubers, and so much other funness that happens. There was a lot of panels, there was a lot of booths that you can go to, and it was held on April 11th through the 12th, which was basically last weekend, and I managed to go. I got really lucky, and I managed to go for one day. Yallwest is basically the sisterhood event to Yallfest, which is normally held in the East Coast at Charleston, South Carolina, and they decided to bring this event over to the West Coast, so they made Yallwest, and that's how this came to be, which is really cool because I managed to go. This event was held. Okay, we have an interrupted guest joining us. It's my sister's dog, in case you haven't noticed. Yallfest is another. I lost my train of thought because the dog interrupted my video. You have a sleepy on your eye. Anyways, so I managed to go to only. Anyways, yeah. Yallwest was held last weekend from April the 11th to the 12th, and I only got to go for one day on the 11th, on that Saturday, because both me and my sister, I went with my sister, and we both kind of came to an agreement that that I would just go for one day to do my thing, and then we would spend a day in LA for her. Since it's Yallwest with my sister, who I need to thank 1,000 and frickin' times, like 1,000 infinity, a million times thank you, because if it wasn't for her, I would have been able to have gone to this event. Because this event was probably the most amazing day of my life. I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk, and I can't really think this with this cute dog in the camera, so. Okay, anyways, train of thought. This trip started off on a kind of a stressful note, basically. Instead of staying at a hotel, my sister and I kind of basically decided to stay at her friend's house, because it would save us a lot of money if we stayed at a friend's house rather than a hotel. So that saved us tons and tons of money. But at the time, her friend thought we were coming on Saturday rather than Friday night, because that was our original plan. We were going to go there Friday night and leave early Saturday morning just to get to the event on time. But thanks to a little bit of communications, that didn't really happen. So my initial thought was, okay, instead of going to plan A, we have to go all the way to plan Z. And that plan was that me and my sister were going to leave town at 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, that was pretty much started my trip on a very stressful note. We had to get up super early in order to get to Yallwest on time. We left at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then we left at 6, and then we managed to get there like at 9:45-ish, which I was okay with, because I was pretty much okay with it because we managed to avoid the line to get into Yallwest, because I heard there was a big line forming outside of it before the event even started, which I was okay with, because I just wanted to get in there and get in line to meet the authors and have them sign my books. So when we got there, I immediately went to go check in to get my ticket for the one panel I was going to go to that I paid for to go to. So, and then I went straight to the author signing area just to get in line for people to sign my books. This was my first book event, so I didn't know what to expect going into this convention. It was my first time going to an author signing. It was my first time going to a convention in general, so I didn't know what to expect. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had anxiety going into this because I didn't know what to expect, because I'm a planner, and if I don't have an idea of what to expect going into this, I just freak out because I tend to plan and plan and plan, and if I don't know what to expect, I don't know, and if I basically don't know what I'm getting myself into, I freak out. I don't know I just don't plan. So I just basically planned out the entire day as best as I possibly could, because I wanted to make sure I managed to get all the authors to sign my books, and you know, meet a lot of the booktubers that were going to be there, and pretty much have a good set day planned, at least. I mean, I know going in I wasn't going to get a lot of the authors to sign my books, which I didn't get that much signed, but I was very satisfied in the end with the amount of books that I had signed. Anyways, so after I checked in, I went straight to the author signing area, and lo and behold, Veronica Roth's line was the longest line out of the first hour of author signing lined up. Obviously, with Insurgent coming out, everybody's going to want to have their book signed, because a lot of people who haven't seen the movie yet probably read the books, and as soon as they heard about this event, they want their books signed. So, yeah, I kind of already expected that, and I was just, what? Avery, get over here. What is that hanging? Is that floss? Are you flossing your teeth? Okay, anyway, so they had to loop the entire Veronica Roth line around to go to a completely different signing area for Veronica Roth to sign the books. So I basically waited, so I was basically in line by like about 10 o'clock, and we just sat, and I just sat there and waited. My sister pretty much sat there with me. She was kind of overwhelmed with the event because this was new for her too, and a bit overwhelming to her because she's not really a reader like I am. So we just sat there in line, and about 10 o'clock ish, I started to settle down, because as soon as they were counting off, I was number 76 in line. So me being like a double-digit person in line meant that I was like above the 250 people cutoff mark. So I'm not sure if they actually did a cutoff mark or they did wristbands. It was kind of a little bit unorganized, which I kind of expected also. But yeah. But while I was in line, I kind of made friends, and because that's what you do in line, you make friends in line for meeting your favorite author. And I made friends with Lisa over at the Consumate? Is that the word? I'm thinking in my head. But the Consumate Reader, she's a blogger, and I'll post her link down below. She was really, really nice to talk to. And also Liz from Liz Love Books. I'm not sure if she has a blog either, but we managed to talk in line about all of our favorite books, and it was just a nice feeling for me to talk to people who get me, basically. Like, I'm usually around people, like, I tell them about these books, and they say, yeah, but, you know, talking to people who are like me, who are bloggers, or vloggers, like, you know, post stuff on YouTube, was really, really awesome, because it was just so refreshing to talk to people who get me, you know. I love reading books, and it was just so exciting. Everybody that I met in line was so nice, and Liz and Liv Love Books, not Liz, Liv Loves Books or whatever. Yeah, it was so nice to just actually talk. So it was very nice to talk to Lisa and Liv. So I was so glad, and I managed to talk to them throughout the entire day via text, or managed to bump into them and talk to them about, you know, the entire day that they had at Yallwest. So yeah. Anyways, going back to the signing. So I basically sat there in line to meet Veronica Roth, and my sister pretty much sprung up the idea because I wanted to get Marissa Meyer, who wrote Cinder, to sign my book, and maybe also if the line is forming for Rochelle Mead, to also just jump in line, because I need to meet Rochelle Mead. I just had to meet Rochelle Mead, and I told her, like, look, if you can get Cinder signed and hop into Rochelle Mead's line, then that would be fantastic. So while she was doing that, I just sat there in line for about an hour, maybe an hour it felt like 20 minutes, but I'm pretty sure I waited in line for like 2 hours for Veronica Roth before she finally came out and started signing. And at first, I was just so in anxiety mode because I didn't know what to say. Because, like, what do you say to somebody who's wrote, like, your favorite series ever? Because I was thinking, like, brain dead, and by the time I got up there, and I was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my gosh. And then it was so close to 12 o'clock, and we weren't sure if she was going to go overtime of her hour of signing because she had other panels to go to. So I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. By 11:45, I managed to go at the top of I managed to be in front of the line, and I got my books ready, and I got them signed. It was so cool meeting Veronica Roth. I absolutely enjoyed talking to her for the amounts of seconds that I had. She was such a very nice person, very sweet. I complimented her on her hair. I pretty much told her I love the series. It's my favorite dystopian. Even though I've only read 2, I didn't care, but I really loved Divergent. It's one of my favorite series of all times, and it's like one of my top favorite series of all time, and I'm just so glad that I got to actually meet her. So right after I got to meet Veronica Roth, I literally zoomed it down to where my sister was. I called her up and was like, Mandy, where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? I was panicking because the line for Rochelle Mead was just as long as Veronica Roth's line. So I was even more panicking, like, oh my god, this is bad. I'm not going to be able to meet Rochelle Mead. But then I called my sister up, and she basically says, I'm basically at the front of the line. So she was basically at the end of where the ropes had, like, ended. So I was pretty close to the front of the line, basically. So I was even in more of a shock to meet Rochelle Mead because she was just such... man, just meeting her too, like meeting both her and Veronica Roth was like the best moments of my life because I managed to tell them thank you so much for writing my favorite series. It was the most amazing time. Amazing seconds that I had talking to them about how much I loved their series. I just told them thank you for writing such an amazing series, and that's about that. My sister also managed to get my Cinder book signed, and it was kind of awkward for her. I was like, ugh. She was like, oh, I didn't know what to say to her because I didn't read the book, and I basically said thank you for bringing her, and she took a candid shot of her. So I'm sorry, Mandy. She was way out of her element on this one day at Yallwest, but she managed to get my Cinder book signed, and also while I was waiting, right when I got to meet my sister told to meet my sister in line for Rochelle Mead, she told me, like, B, Ransom Riggs is over there, there's 3 people in line, go grab your book and get it signed. And, like, okay, go! Okay, I had to basically race to get my Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children out. Like, only 3 people left to get it signed, and also it was the cutoff time for when their hour was up. His hour was up, so I managed to, like, can I get this signed real quick? And he was like, sure, come over here, yeah. He was very nice, too, and Ransom was also very pretty in person. Like, he was beautiful, and it was just amazing just to have the 3 seconds just saying, like, I was like, and I didn't even get to say any of the things I wanted to say because I didn't really read his book, so I just said, thank you very much, and I left. After I got the author signed, that was pretty much the biggest part of my day done. Both me and my sister were pretty much exhausted, and we were hungry. We pretty much left at 6 a.m. in the morning, and we didn't have time to eat breakfast. I normally don't really eat that much at breakfast anyways, so by the time I was done with all my signings, I was pretty much done. I had to eat something. Shoot. So, right after when we were heading out to go get lunch, I ran into Kenya from my little bookshelf. I'm one of those people that just don't want to, like, disturb them. Like, if they're busy, I don't really want to, like, disturb them that much, and that's kind of how I felt. So I was just basically, like, passing along to where Kenya was at, and I was just like, hey, Kenya! And then she just turned around, and came up and talked to me for a bit. I was like, holy shit. In my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, you're actually talking to me. And we actually had a great conversation. So, Kenya, if you're watching, thank you so much for having the time to talk to me. And also, after after Saturday, I managed to run into her on Sunday, which was really cool because I ran into her at Barnes & Noble's at the Grove, and I had to talk to her again. So it was very nice talking to Kenya twice in one weekend. So, yeah. And then right after I met Kenya, after the book signing, because I managed to run into her in the book signing area, I went to go get lunch. And then right when I was starting to eat, I noticed at the coffee van, the Booksplosion crew and Tasha was there, like Christine from Holy Banana Books, Jessie from Jessie the Reader, Kat, my idol from Catty-tastic, was standing there, and also Natasha from Tashopolis was standing there. And again, I didn't want to disturb them because they're doing their thing. Kat was being classic Kat by getting coffee and waiting in line, and I just didn't want to disturb them. But then after I saw a group of girls going up to them, I kind of just walked up and built up the courage to go up and talk to them too. And I can't believe I actually did it too. And I first ran up right to Jesse and basically asked him, how long did it take for you to get the eggs out of your hair? Because in one of his videos, he had to splat an egg on his head, and I was just, I don't know, at that point, I was in an out-of-body experience because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I was just having I just kind of just built up the courage and walked up to them and just winged everything. And it was the best moments of my life. I just couldn't believe that I had the chance to talk to my favorite YouTubers in a course of 20 minutes, which was ridiculous. I first talked to Kenya, and then I went right up to Natasha from Tashopolis. And at first, I didn't know what to say to acknowledge her because I was so shell shocked and fangirling in the moment. And then their friend Mary, who was with them, complimented me on my shirt that I'm wearing right now. I basically wore this shirt at Yallwest, and I was getting pretty much compliments on it throughout the entire day. And so when Mary complimented me, I'm like, thank you. Hi, Tasha. I was pretty much fangirling and trying to keep my cool at the same time, which was not working. But I managed to talk to Tasha for a couple of minutes, and then I built up the courage to go to Jessie, and I went up to Kat. I couldn't believe I went up to Kat because Kat is was the biggest inspiration of me doing this vlog, and of me, creating this channel and making vlogs, which I never thought I was able to do. And, to actually just go up to her and say thank you for inspiring me to start my own channel, I couldn't believe, oh my gosh, I was just having a moment. And I wasn't sure if I was forming a sentence because I was kind of having an out-of-body experience moment. And then I got to talk to Christine, who was even more cool to talk to. I mean, they were all so nice to talk to. I mean, I actually had, a nice conversation with each of them, and I'm so glad that they had the time to talk to me, and just, I couldn't believe that they were actually talking to me, and I don't know. I was just so used to I'm so used to them watching them on screen, and then actually talking to them in real life was pretty amazing. And it was even more funny because as I was walking back, I had the most giddiest grin in the world. Probably I just couldn't believe I actually did it. That I actually got up to them and talked to them for a bit, and yeah. And then as I was sitting down to eat the rest of my lunch, my sister was saying, she basically said I choked up on my own tears because I was just so happy that you actually got to talk to them. Because I basically told my middle sister everything about what I'm doing. She was the first one I told about this channel, and she was the one I basically told about my channel, and she was just so glad that I actually got to go up to them and talk to them. So, yeah. So I was originally going to go to the Booksplosion panel. Getting pretty much close to the time where I had to go online to go to the panel. And the panel that I went to was the afternoon keynote panel, which had Veronica Roth and Marie Lu. I was kind of scared going into this panel because I never read a Marie Lu book before. Like, I have Legend on my Kindle, I just haven't had the time to read it. And I was just scared, like, she was going to talk about, you know, anything Legend or anything Young Elite spoilers, and she ended up not doing it. This was a very spoiler-free panel, so I was really glad because I didn't want to get spoiled by anything by the Legend trilogy or the Young Elites. So, yeah, the panel was actually really fun. It was pretty awesome just sitting there watching Veronica Roth and Marie Lu drinking tea, water. Like, Veronica Roth wasn't really drinking tea. She was just drinking water and eating, you know, bread and crumpets or whatever they had on that little table of theirs. Oh man, and it was a really fun time. The Q&A was pretty short and sweet. I kind of liked how I ended my day with the panel. I didn't really regret not going to any of the other panels. There were a few panels that I would have liked to have gone to, but but I was more focused on the signings, and with the entire day and throughout the entire day, I just wanted to focus on the signings, which I was okay with. Yeah, that was pretty much my day at Yallwest. I ended the day at the panel. I know this is kind of getting long, but so that was pretty much my day at Yallwest, and now let me show you. This is becoming quite a long video. I am at 36 minutes right now. I'm filming. I hope YouTube doesn't cut me off. Anyways, so I'm basically going to show you now all the books that I got signed at Yallwest. Sorry, my little storytelling of my day at Yallwest was a little sporadic. Okay, so obviously the first author that I told you guys that I got signed was Veronica Roth, and I got my entire trilogy signed. And Veronica wrote, Brianna, be brave, Veronica Roth. Brianna, be strong, Veronica Roth. Yeah, she has like different sayings for each book, so to say in certain books, obviously. And then with Allegiant, she wrote, hello, Dust Jacket. She said she wrote, Brianna, be mended. By my book Cinder signed, and Marissa basically put to Brianna, Marissa Meyer. This title page is wicked too. I'm pretty much showing you guys in the order that I got the books signed, basically. Ransom, you just put Ransom Briggs, because I didn't have a sticky note with me to get it personalized, and I was okay with that because I didn't read his books yet. So, and then ultimate finale to this signing haul, Rochelle Mead, Vampire Academy. To Brianna, best Rochelle Mead. And then I also got Bloodline signed. I only picked the first books in the series because they're awesome series and whatnot. And then for Bloodlines, she signed to Brianna, best. Oh yeah, to Brianna, Blood Doesn't Lie, Rochelle Mead. And yeah, I will be doing a merch, all the swag, pretty much a swag haul of all the things that I got at Yallwest. Yeah, that was basically my day at Yallwest. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you went to Yallwest, let me know down below what were your thoughts on the event and how was your day at Yallwest and whatnot. And tell me your biggest highlight of your day at Yallwest also. I would like to know what was your biggest highlight of your day at Yallwest was. I basically told you mine, and I want to know about yours. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you guys have a great morning, noon, and night. Goodbye!